Can Bruce Wayne properly serve justice by getting an entire courtroom of people to turn against his alter ego Batman? Well, let's find out in the pages of Batman issue number 53, shall we? Alrighty then, so picking up from where the last issue left off, Bruce Wayne is still in the middle of his epic filibuster. Seriously, he's giving Jimmy Stewart and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington a run for his money right now. What's his ultimate angle to try and get these people to think that maybe Batman isn't as great as he claims to be and maybe even he is fallible and wrong? Oh boy, strap on in, cause there's a doozy coming. Bruce sees that one of the more opinionated people in the jury is a woman carrying a cross. This causes Bruce to go off on a slight tangent about all the times his father took him to church. Yeah, Thomas Wayne was quite the religious fellow, don't you know? Bruce's mom was also Jewish, but Martha unfortunately doesn't get mentioned in this story. That's a shame. That would have been an interesting angle to take. Bruce says that as a boy he truly did believe, but after his parents murdered, his view on the world quickly changed. His view on Gotham as well. He says that everyone can agree that this is a place of true evil and true monsters. Bruce Wayne traveled the world honing his body and mind for a future career in being Batman. He doesn't mention that to the jury, obviously. He does say, however, that he was looking for something to fill the hole in himself. And when no deity would suffice and put an ease to his pain, Bruce decided to create his own deity to fill that void, being Batman, of course. Which again, if the subtext wasn't obvious enough for you here, Bruce Wayne is essentially being Tom King right now in a room full of die-hard Batman Bat-God fans that he's trying to dissuade. A lot of the comic websites have actually made a big deal about this speech right here, and Batman more or less coming out as being an atheist. Personally, that always fit my own headcanon anyway. I mean, come on, Bruce rubs shoulders on a daily basis with Martians, robots, Amazons, gods of other pantheons. It's also kind of funny the other way too, because Batman knows Zariel, a literal no-foolin' angel, and when Green Arrow died, he went to actual real-deal Judeo-Christian heaven, and when Hal Jordan died, he became the Spectre, the embodiment of God's rage, but whatever, these are topics for another day. The big takeaway from Bruce's speech is that Batman was created by a man, Batman is a man is fallible, humans shouldn't put man above God, and they really shouldn't let Batman's word become law because that would be a really gross miscarriage of justice. And even though Freeze is admittedly a bad guy, well, some of the times he's a bad guy, he doesn't deserve to be thrown in jail over this. And this speech proves to be enough to get the jury to change their ruling and get Mr. Freeze off. Of course, this is Tom King we're talking about here, and he can't leave well enough alone as a writer, and because of that we need to muddy the waters a little bit. We find out that Bruce only got this jury duty because he used his vast wealth to get himself in there. Which kind of makes Bruce a bit of a hypocrite after going on a whole big spiel about how Batman shouldn't be able to influence the justice system. Bruce Wayne turns around and uses his money to influence the justice system. Also, none of this answers the question too, if Mr. Freeze wasn't killing those women, then who was killing those women? We never get an answer. And, you know, just because Bruce got this particular jury to change their mind, what's stopping a future jury in a future case from taking Batman's word as law? Furthermore, is Batman gonna stop brutalizing his foes so extremely now because he's feeling bad about his relationship with Catwoman breaking down, or is he gonna go back to only brutalizing his enemies just enough? These are all questions that are sadly left up in the air. What we do know for sure, though, is that Bruce decides that after this case, he wants a little bit of familiarity. He wants to go back to basics, and because of that, he gets Alfred to take the old suit out of mothballs. Complete with trunks and everything. I mean, hey, if it's working for Superman, Batman's gotta get on in there too, right? Can't let Clark have all the fun. And it's right around there that the comic ends, everybody. So that was Batman issue number 53, and ultimately, I'm kind of conflicted on both this issue and the arc as a whole. On one hand, I actually enjoyed it a lot more than the previous arcs. I thought there was more to chew on, more to think about, and genuinely more to enjoy. But as is a recurring theme in Tom King's work, even the stuff I like is kind of undercut by the stuff I didn't like. The biggest question being, does Tom King actually want us to like Batman or not? Like, on one hand, this story talks about how Batman is just a man, how he's fallible, and how that ultimately is why he's relatable. He doesn't get everything right all the time, but he tries, and he has managed to save a lot of people, and the people love and respect him for what he's done. But then on the other hand, King deconstructs Batman by saying that yes, he's doing this to fill a hole in himself, he's doing it very selfishly. And I mean, that first part would be a lot easier to swallow if it was not for the majority of the Tom King run. Batman has been written to be so incompetent to the point of madness. And this is a year that's been filled with some truly amazing Batman deconstructions, be it Batman White Knight or James Tynion's work on Detective Comics, but you know, those work in their own little ways. Here, Tom King pulls some real threads on some real big sweaters. And at times I'm impressed at how it all unfurls. At the end of the day, I'm still holding just a handful of fabric. Ultimately, though, I give this one a 6.5 out of 10. I did enjoy some of it. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Caped Joel again. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out some of these other videos I have available from the channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Caped Joel, so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And hey, did you know, outside just making great weekly comic videos, I'm also on several comic book podcasts, some of which are very popular. There's the Weekly Pull, which the shirt I'm wearing right now. That one goes every other Tuesday. Then there's the Elseworlds Exchange over on the Comic Pop channel. That's every Wednesday around 3 to 5, give or take. And then how could I possibly forget the Comic Multiverse, the show hosted by myself and Matt of Fortress of Solitude. That one goes live on this channel every Wednesday at 8, and also SoundCloud and iTunes later on. Be sure to check out and subscribe to those if you haven't already. I assure you, you won't be mistaken.